In this video, we are going to find the exact value of tangent of capital A plus B given the information in the top line. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy the tangent of A plus B formula. So we are going to need tangent of A plus tangent of B, all divided by 1 minus the product of tangent A multiplied with tangent of B. We do not have tangent A, nor do we have tangent B, but we can do an XYR problem on the information that we were given for both A and B in order to find tangent of A and tangent of B. So starting with the information that we were given for capital A, we were given secant of capital A is equal to 5, and that sine of A is negative. So if secant of capital A is equal to 5, that tells us that x is positive, since secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosine is the x-coordinate. And if sine of A is less than 0, that tells us that y is negative. And so putting those two pieces of information together, we must be in quadrant 4, where x is positive and y is negative. Secant is equal to r divided by x. So I will say that r is equal to 5 and x is equal to 1. And then we will use the fact that x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared to find the value of y. So we have 1 squared plus y squared is equal to 5 squared. 1 plus y squared is equal to 25. I will subtract 1 from both sides to see that y squared is equal to 24. Y is negative, and so y is equal to the negative square root of 24, which simplifies to negative 2 root 6. From this, we need tangent of capital A. Tangent is equal to y divided by x. Y we just found as negative 2 root 6, and x was given to us as 1. So we can write the denominator of 1, or we can just completely disregard it. So we can go ahead and plug in for tangent of capital A. It is equal to negative 2 root 6. We just found that. So in this expression here, we have negative 2 times the square root of 6. We will still need to add tangent of B. Then in the denominator, we have 1 minus. Plugging in for tan A, we have negative 2 root 6. And then we will still need to go and find tangent of capital B, which we will do by using another XYR problem on the information that we were given about capital B. So we were given that cosecant of capital B is equal to negative 3, and that cotangent of capital B is positive. If cosecant of capital B is negative, that implies that y is negative, since cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, and sine is the y-coordinate. If cotangent is positive, that means that x and y have the same sign, because x over y is positive, and so it must also be that x is negative. And so we must be in quadrant 3, where both x and y are negative. Cosecant is equal to r over y, and so I am going to assign r equal to a positive 3 and y equal to a negative 1. I cannot assign r to be negative. R is always positive. So we need to find x using the fact that x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So we have x squared plus negative 1 squared is equal to 3 squared. So x squared plus 1 is equal to 9. And so x squared is equal to 8. And so x is equal to the negative square root of 8, since x is negative, which simplifies to negative 2 root 2. We need tangent of capital B for our formula, and tangent is equal to y divided by x. Y is a negative 1, and x is negative 2 root 2. The two negatives will cancel out and just leave us with a positive 1 over 2 root 2, which I will then rationalize by multiplying by root 2 over root 2 to get a positive root 2 divided by 4. So now that we know that tangent B is equal to positive root 2 over 4, we can plug that into our formula for tangent of B, and then we will simplify this expression. So in the numerator, we have negative 2 root 6 plus root 2 divided by 4, and then we are dividing by 1 plus, and this is turning into a plus sign because we are subtracting a negative. 2, we'll multiply the root 6 and the root 2. Think of this blue piece as negative 2 root 6 over 1, so we're just multiplying straight across the top. Root 6 times root 2 is root 12, and then in the denominator we have a 4. So continuing to simplify this fraction, we have negative 2 root 6 plus root 2 divided by 4 divided by 1 plus 2. I'm going to simplify the square root of 12. The square root of 12 simplifies to 2 root 3 times 2 root 3, and then this is divided by 4. Continuing to simplify this further, we have negative 2 root 6 plus root 2 divided by 4 divided by 1 plus 2 times 2 is 4, and then we're dividing by 4, so all of this is going to cancel out. It'll be 4 over 4. So we're just adding the square root of 3 there. And the last thing we will do to simplify this expression is we will multiply everything through by 4 to eliminate the fraction that we have in the numerator of this fraction. So multiplying everything through by 4, negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8. We do not multiply what's under the radical by 4. Multiplying the second term in the numerator by 4 will eliminate the fraction and just leave us with the numerator of root 2. 1 times 4 is 4, and the square root of 3 multiplied with 4 is 4 root 3. Leaving us with this as our final answer. When we are left with a sum or a difference of a radical in the denominator, I will not ask that you rationalize that. Technically, we do know how to. We would need to multiply and divide by the conjugate, but it is okay to leave your final answer in that form.